Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So I know I look super weird. I currently only have one eyebrow on, but that's because I'm going to do my other brow with you. I'm also going to be testing some new makeup, but just kind of doing my full face with you. I wanted to test out the Colourpop X Raw Beauty Kristi palette, and I thought rather than just doing the palette, I would do my full face with you guys. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use Benefit on my brows as always. You guys might know, if you don't, I have been their brow hero for the last half of this year, which sadly is coming to an end. But of course I will continue to use Benefit on my brows. Usually what I use is the Brow in shade 5, which is basically like a pomade, but I thought for today I would switch it up and try the Goof Proof brow pencil, and I really love how it looked. I also used the microfilling pen on the beginning of my brows, which you guys will see. So let's just go ahead and get started. But yeah, I do the tail first and then I fill it out. And then taking the micro-filling pen, I use it on its side and just draw little brow flicks. Now, the first time I used this, I wasn't really a fan, but the more I've kind of gotten used to it, and I've realized I like to apply pressure, because light pressure doesn't really do it for me. But when I apply like a heavy hand, that's when it definitely comes out darker. Now I'm going to go in with concealer. So I'm taking the NARS Complete Coverage Matte Concealer, I think it's called, and I just use that to clean up underneath the brow. So that colour kind of lifts my brow, but on top of my brow I like to go in with the Shiseido concealer just because it's a little bit closer to my skin tone. And I take this one on top of the brow. And then I take whatever's left on the concealer brush and kind of just stamp little gaps into my brows. And yeah, that's basically it for the brows. So now we're going to move on to foundation. So I have the Revlon Color Stay in the shade 400 Caramel that I got from Superdrug recently. I feel like I used to use this back in the days, but I haven't used it in so long. I don't know what I think about it. Pretty warm tone. I wish it was a little bit more neutral, but I feel like it will be fine once I get my concealer on. It's blending out nicely. Colour isn't too bad actually. First impression, I think that's a really nice foundation. The coverage is nice. I hope that lighting's a little bit better. I think it's a little bit more true to colour. Also, excuse the darkness around my lips. I had a reaction to some lip balm recently and it's annoying. Nearly every single lip balm I put on was like tingling and burning. The only thing that didn't tingle and burn was lip gloss, which is so weird. I think it's an ingredient that is in most lip balms that was making my lips react weird. So I ended up just cutting out all of my lip balms and using clear lip gloss, and it healed up, but it's healed up with like darkness. It will go because your lips like regenerate skin all the time and it will get better, but it's just annoying to have the darkness there now. Okay, so finally we're going to move on to the Raw Beauty Kristi and Colourpop palette. I want to do a green look today, which is why I've got my green clothes on. With this palette, I absolutely love the deep dark tones in here, but it is kind of like greens and then warm tones. So I didn't want to do a warm tone look, so I thought I would play with the greens and then possibly do like a warm tone neutral look on Instagram. So definitely make sure you're following me over there. But yeah, this palette is absolutely gorgeous. I think I need to light this area because it's looking pretty dark, which is making the overall video look dark. Okay, I hope that's better. Honestly, I'm having a nightmare of a filming day just because it's so dark outside. It's making me have to faffle around with everything. Emerald City, which is the dark green, and then I'll go into the khaki next to it in the crease. This one I'm going to put on the outer V. Ooh, look at that pigment. Going to build it up on the outer V. And then on the edges, I'm going to go into Fiddlehead, which is the green next to it. I'm not going to carry it too high up because I do want to go in with another shade. But I'm also going to take that Fiddlehead in the inner corner. Wow, that's a lot darker than I thought it would be. That colour almost kind of oxidized when it touched the primer. It just went darker. Do you see that? It's okay, we're just going to jump straight into Chanterelle, which is the yellow mustard colour. And this I'm going to use on the edge of the green, kind of by the brow bone. Yellow makes everything better. Whoa, that pigment is a bit insane, but let's see if it blends together nicely. I will go back in and intensify every shade, but this yellow's laying down good. You don't need a lot at all, like a little bit goes a long way, which we love. Taking some Emerald City again, re-intensifying that outer V. A little bit into the crease as well. Oh guys, I ended up ordering the Mama Mitchell Made by Mitchell palettes because on Black Friday he had a sale for the palettes were basically £24 down from 40, and that's like almost half price, so I thought I would go ahead and grab them both. And then when I did and I tagged them on Instagram, Mitchell actually reached out to me and asked to send me the PR, and I was like yeah, of course. And I thought he was just going to send me what I didn't have, but they ended up sending me everything again, so I have both the palettes again. So when I do the video there will be a giveaway, but yeah, I can't wait to test those. What ended up putting me off the palettes and not picking them up for £40 is because of course the layout, like the background of the palette was just so messy looking, and then the layout, like the shades were everywhere. But I ended up getting the Juvia's Place Valhalla 2 palette, which I thought the same thing, the background was so like distracting, but I ended up loving that palette. So I thought, you know what, Mitchell palette, next time it goes on sale I'll grab it. And then on Black Friday it did. Now with this look, any of the shimmers, there's only 2 shimmers in this palette, this one here which is like a green, and then this one which is a gold. Any of them would go with the look, so what I'm thinking to do is the green on the center and the gold on the inner corner. So this I'm gonna put in the center. Oh, that's a nice green. I could have probably used a glitter glue with it to maybe make the thing pop more, but I can still see like underneath the shade, it's like it doesn't have much of a base. Yeah, it's almost performing like an eyeshadow topper. It's still a gorgeous color, but I don't feel like it has much pigment to it. Definitely more like an iridescent eyeshadow topper in my opinion. Yeah, it definitely applies better when it's wet. It has more opacity. I don't know if she said that in her video, but I'm definitely advising you to apply it wet if you want more pizzazz, you know. And then going in with West Coast, which is the gold on the inner part of the eye. Yeah, that's a nice yellowy gold. That looks beautiful on the inner corner. Yeah, that is the eye look, guys. What do you think? Green's become one of my favorite colors to wear on my eyes. If I'm not wearing green, I'm wearing purple pink. If I'm not wearing that, I'm wearing orange brown. That's kind of my go-to staple colors. Oh, I do love blue as well. I love anything, to be honest, but green's definitely been hitting the spot lately, maybe because it's that time of year. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let me go ahead and do my other eye, and then I'll come back so we can complete the face. Okay, so the other eye is done. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to concealer. I don't have a new one, so I'm just gonna use this one that I haven't used in ages. It's Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. I want to see if I still like this. Like, I want to test out most of the concealers in my concealer drawer and find out if I like them or not, and then if I don't, I'll declutter them, just because my concealer drawer is looking a bit mad. And I'm pretty sure I keep things just in case, which I hate about myself, because realistically I never end up using them. But I want to go through and see which ones I really like and which ones are gonna go. I did the same thing with my foundations, and 99% of them ended up staying. Honestly guys, I am the worst when it comes to base products. I feel like I always want to test out new ones and like see what's the best formula out there, but realistically I know what I like in a foundation and a concealer, and it's usually full coverage, matte finish. But for some reason I still end up keeping lightweight, radiant, sheer foundations just in case. It doesn't have tons of coverage. I mean, it's good coverage, it looks good on camera, but compared to the others in my collection, I feel like it could have had a bit more. Maybe it's one of those you need to let sit down, because I'm pretty quick to blend out my concealers because I'm used to ones that dry down fast. But maybe because it's a serum concealer, it needs to set for a little bit and then blend it out to get more coverage. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more like right here where I feel like the coverage is needed, and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. So in the meantime, how are you? How have you been? We're doing good over here, just chugging along, you know what I mean, trying to get on with this so-called thing we've called 2020. I actually ended up winning Best Beauty Influencer in the Online Influencer Awards 2020. I ended up winning the beauty category, which is super exciting. Thank you to the judges that picked me, I guess, and the person that nominated me, or people that nominated me. I would like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank my manager. And the funny thing is, it came at like the best time because I was feeling so unmotivated. Like, I know you guys see me posting constantly, but you don't see the days that I don't film. Obviously I'm not expected to film every day, but most of the time I do. And then when I miss a day, I feel so guilty. I'm just like, oh, why didn't you do anything today? But everyone needs a day off. I don't know why I don't give myself a day off. I do feel like I'm a little bit of a workaholic. Like, even when I have an hour's break, I'm like, well, maybe I should film another video. Like, there's never just a relaxing time. But that's just because I love what I do. It's so hard to stop when you love what you do. Do you know what I mean? It's like, where does the line cross between I love doing this, it's a hobby, and wait, you're working too much? Do you know what I mean? Because before this became my job, I did used to film as a hobby, as something that I like to do. So when your hobby becomes your job, it's just like, wait, when do I have to stop? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out now, and hopefully the coverage is gonna be amazing. Yeah, I feel like that's more coverage than it was before. Yeah, it still looks round about the same. It didn't set down that much. It wasn't hard to blend out at all. I feel like this is definitely a concealer that would be great for dry skin, or if you have dry under eyes. This is really creamy, radiant serum type of concealer, which some people may love, but I personally do love like a dry down, set down concealer. But this is not going to be my everyday go-to concealer like their foundation has become. The Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation has become my go-to. So I'm going to go ahead and set that down with the Pat McGrath Labs setting powder in light medium 2, and I'm just gonna press that in. Oh, I love the process of mattifying my face. It's definitely one of my favorite steps. That concealer's set down beautifully actually. Once it's been set, it doesn't look too like dry or cakey. It looks really nice and smooth. And then to set the rest of the face, I'm going to take the under eye blurring powder, but this is the deep one and it's too deep for under my eye, so I just use it to set the rest of my face, because this reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury powder in terms of the way it blurs and sets everything down, but nice and lightweight. I've become such a big fan of Pat McGrath base products, her powder, her concealer, this powder. Honestly, love. Even on Black Friday, she had her 30% off sale. I ended up picking up another concealer. I don't have a new bronzer, so I'm just gonna go in with the NARS Punta Cana. I love how effortless this bronzer is. It just melts into the face. I do have a new highlighter. These are by Unicorn Cosmetics and these are called the Glow Ting highlighter. So there's 3 shades here. This is the packaging of it. It's that kind of prismatic type of packaging in this gorgeous purple color. And this is the color. The camera's not going to pick up how beautiful this is. It's like a white with pink reflection. This is the lit up shade. And then this is Glow Go, which is not as yellow as it looks on the label, which is good. This is very wearable, like a gorgeous golden highlighter. And then last but not least is Do It, which looks like this. This reminds me of like the NARS Orgasm type of pinky gold type of color. So for today I'm going to use Glow Go, which is the gold, because I feel like it will go with my eyes nicely. Ooh, that is beautiful. Nice and subtle, but really nice color. What? That looks stunning, and it's not texturizing. It just melts into the skin. Just gonna quickly do my fake mole. So now let's do the lower lash line. I feel like I want to use a color in the waterline, you know, the usual. Let me see what I have. Okay, so I found these 3 eyeliners. I don't know, I think this one's a bit too bright. I might go with the dark green just because I have used this Colourpop one before. Don't think I've used this Beauty Bay one. I'm going to pop that in the waterline, but also along the lower lash line. And this is a shimmery dark green as well, so it does have little shimmer specks in it. Really nice and creamy. I'm going to take Fiddlehead and run that underneath the eye. So I'm going to quickly throw my lashes on. This is from my brand MAKEUPBYTAMMI.com in the style Summer, and I'll be back. Okay, lashes are on. So last but not least, let's go ahead and do lips. So I have these from MAC. It's their Powder Kiss Liquid Lipstick, and I have these shades here. I don't know if any's going to go with this look. Maybe this one here, which is called Sorry Not Sorry. I'm going to start with MAC Chestnut and just line my lips. Now going in with this. Oh wow, that's really orange. Nice color though. Oh, that feels amazing on the lips, really comfortable. Almost feels like velvet on your lips. It feels really nice. Okay, so here we have the finished look. What do you think? I love this palette so far. I love the way the shades performed. I definitely would recommend wetting the shimmers or using the glitter glue to make them pop even more, because especially this shade over here is a beautiful shade, but it just doesn't have much reflection to it. Whereas the gold definitely has more of a yellowy base. It has more pigmentation rather than being sheer like the green. between. So they are different formulas, but still beautiful nonetheless. And I guess you are getting this palette for mostly mattes because you only get 2 shimmers out of here, and the mattes are gorgeous. I love the depth, I love the pigmentation. You really don't need a lot. I feel like the first time I went in, it was just a lot of pigment, but on this eye it was a lot easier to blend and layer because I just knew that you didn't need a lot. Yeah, overall I'm really happy that I have this palette. I love the color story. You can get neutral looks, you can get warm tone looks, you can play with some greens and blues. It's just a very versatile palette, and of course deep skin friendly, which we love. So yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know yours. Did you pick it up? What are you thinking about it? You like it, you love it, you don't? Let me know all of that good stuff down below. Give this video a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed so we can hit 200k before the end of the year, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care, bye.